Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Episode 254. Hello and welcome to the best bits of the breakfast show. And this is Mark Denholm. You can catch me 6 till 10 Monday to Friday. And then at the weekend we round up and roll out the best bits. This week on the podcast there will be a short story redefined. And it really does nail the definition of short. Giving up working from home, sleeping on the job, things you wish that your phone could do for you, a brilliant way to waste £15, and a palava over £1. You wouldn't believe the palava over this pound. An alternative pizza that you probably wouldn't want. We've got clickbait and we've got a rubbish joke as well. All that and more in the Best Bits podcast this week. And it starts now.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Atom Radio, morning, 7:12, and it's Mark Denholm at breakfast. On a Monday morning, the world's shortest horror story consists of only 2 sentences. The last man on earth sat alone in the room. There was a knock at the door. That's the world's shortest horror story. Can you imagine selling that? Yeah, I've written a book, and it's only 2 sentences long and just a few words. It would certainly deal with the modern age attention span issue, though, wouldn't it, if that were the entire story?
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
Today, I'd like to know about your working habits. Basically, Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, has held talks with TfL and prices will be slashed on a Friday in order to try and woo people who work from home on a Friday back into work in the office in a hope of boosting London's nighttime economy by offering cheaper fares in and out of London on that day. He also hopes it'll have a knock-on effect with other travel operators. Today, I want to know, if you are someone that works from home either part of the week or all of the week, what would it take to entice you back into the office for that portion of the week that you don't currently go in? On air at atomradio.co.uk. Morning, Nicola. And I love your thinking on this. Nicola says, I currently work from 9 to 5:30. I would be more than happy to go back into the office if I could set out for work and leave my house at 9 and leave work in order to be home at 5:30. Then I'd be more than happy to go back into the office. But otherwise, it's just going to lengthen my day for no extra money. And that is very, 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 very true, isn't it? Especially if you have quite a commute ahead of you as well. That is going to be quite a lengthening to your day. So yeah, I get what you're saying and I like it. I don't know if your boss would like it or not, but I like it. Leave home at 9 in the morning when you would start work and leave work to be home at 5:30 when you'd finish. I like it.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
Morning. Mark Denholm at breakfast, banging out the anthems on Atom Radio. Welcome to Tuesday. Do you know Steve Jobs once called Google to tell them the yellow gradient in the second O of their logo wasn't quite right? You see, that is attention to detail. And sleeping on the job in Japan is acceptable. It's viewed as the result of exhaustion from working hard. Oh, no. Maybe I peaked too early. It's only 6:15.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Let's find out the top 5 of things you wish your phone could do for you. At number 5, pick the winning Euro Millions numbers because I'm bored of working. At number 4, check my social media posts and messages I send when I'm drunk before sending them to stop me embarrassing myself. At number 3, know when I'm talking to someone I don't want to talk to and ring me to get me out that conversation. At number 2, stop me texting my ex during moments of weakness. And the number 1 of things you wish your phone could do for you, an app to tell me when it's good to send that next text after a first date.
Mark Denholm
at breakfast podcast.
And if you've got £15 spare, you can buy a man's bath water. I think, if I'm honest, I'd rather just run my own bath.
Mark Denholm at breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
24 minutes to 8 o'clock morning and welcome to Wednesday. It's Mark Denholm at breakfast. We are streaming from Slough. We're loud across the net and we are the home of the anthems all day long. Today, I would like to know from you your best ever haggling story because a month-long haggle went on over a £1 night dress bought on Vinted. What's been your best ever haggle and how much did you get knocked off whatever it was you bought? On air at atomradio.co.uk.
This is Mark Denholm
at breakfast.
Atom Radio.
8:15. Morning then, Mark Denholm on Atom Radio. There's a picture that's going around the internet at the moment of a sign posted in a Pizza Hut window. Don't know if it's true or not. You can never trust anything on the internet now, can you? But it says, due to unforeseen circumcisions, we will be closed today. And I thought, ouch, that's pretty painful. And then I thought, even worse than that, due to unforeseen circumcisions, surely that can't be a new topping for the pizza.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Atom Radio, morning. It is Mark Denholm at breakfast. We're streaming from Slough. We are banging out the anthems. And be careful where you give birth. The mum has raised eyebrows by naming her baby after a popular McDonald's menu item. Alicia Beck recently welcomed her son into the world in a slightly dramatic fashion, giving birth in the McDonald's car park. Little Mika Daniel made his entrance in the shadow of the iconic Golden Arches in a fitting tribute. His parents have affectionately nicknamed him McFlurry. Now that's a bit of a clickbait, isn't it? They've nicknamed him, they've not named him. I would imagine it would be a altogether different story if he was named McFlurry.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
This is Atom Radio.
Atom Radio, 18 minutes to 8 o'clock morning, and welcome to Thursday. A study found that when people were asked by a stranger if they would sleep with them, 75% of men said yes. How many women do you reckon said yes? Absolutely none. They all said no. Therefore, perhaps, well, I don't know. If it was the same stranger, then no, just leave it alone.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
There's a lady in America who fell in a bin. As if that's not bad enough, the bin truck then came, tipped the bin in, and in she went into the mechanics of the bin truck. Fortunately, though, her screams were heard, and she was rescued through the roof of the bin truck, taken to hospital, where it is said that she will make a full recovery, which I think is good, because that would have been a rubbish way to go.
This is Mark Denholm.
At breakfast.
Atom Radio.
The lady has turned a tenner into £50,000. She bought a premium bond for £10 back in 1990 and has scooped £50,000 from it now. Congratulations.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.
Do you know, somebody said my joke about the lady who fell into the bin truck. Somebody said that was a bad taste joke. And I don't think it was. It does say that she is going to make a full recovery, only sustained minor injuries, and is going to make a full recovery. It would have been a bad taste joke if she'd suffered life-changing injuries or even worse still died. Then yes, that would have been a bad taste joke. But I don't think it is. I actually just think it's quite funny. But there we are. That's my opinion. Had I thought it was a bad taste joke, I wouldn't have used it. Thank you for checking out episode 254 of the podcast. That's a wrap. Episode 255 next week. And you can also check out the show Monday to Friday on atomradio.co.uk, on the online Radio Box app, on TuneIn, and on your smart speaker. Just name your smart speaker and say, play Atom Radio on TuneIn, and it will happen. Thank you, as always, for checking out the podcast today. Don't forget, if you're listening in your podcast app, click subscribe. If you are listening on YouTube, also click subscribe and follow Atom Radio on socials, Facebook, X, and Instagram at UK Atom Radio.
Mark Denholm.
At breakfast. Podcast.